Hi, guys, and welcome back to Self Care for Black Girls, a podcast where we relax, sip tea, and chat about bettering ourselves as Black girls. I'm BB, and I'll be helping guide you to make better choices in your daily lives. Okay, so after my little mishap with last week's episode, I was like, you know what? I need to sit down and, be proactive and get my work done so I don't have to record the episode the day after it's supposed to air. So here I am, still procrastinated just a little bit, but getting this week's episode, along with episodes for the rest of the summer recorded. So all I have to do is go and upload. So with that being said, like I said, welcome back. Today's episode is another episode of the Me Time series, which I hate to say is coming to an end. There's only 2 or 3 more episodes in it. I have to make that decision. But yes, this series has been fun, but it's not the last, so let's enjoy them while they're here. Today's episode is going to be on achieving and succeeding. Now, a lot of the things in this episode have been mentioned in the past, but they are such important tips that they just need to keep being reiterated, because if you do these things, I promise you, you will not have to worry about anything, and everything that you want to come to happen will happen. So yes, there will be minor setbacks. Yes, there will be major setbacks, but don't let them stop you. Okay? Just stick with this plan and you'll get where you need to be. So, without further ado, here are the tips. The first one, and looking at this list, perhaps one of the most important ones, is to plan. Plan. Planning is so important. You need to plan for everything. Yes, I know, I understand there are emergencies. Things can come up that you didn't plan for, or things that you did plan for can turn out to be worse or better than what you did plan for. Speaking specifically to the worser side of it, because you can know that you have to go in, I don't know, so that your car is going to need fixing, and you know roughly how much it's going to cost, and then you get there and it's a little bit more than what you were estimated. So things like that. But you need to plan for everything. If you're going on a vacation in 2 years, obviously you need to know what day you're going, whether you're flying or driving, cruising, any of that. You need all that information. When you sit down and say, I'm going to go on a trip in 2 years, and you're serious about it, you need to sit down and plan it. If you're planning on starting a business, you need to sit down and think and, put in as best time perspective as you can on how long it's going to take everything to get started. And if you're selling products, how long it's going to take the products to get in, and test to see if you like what you're working with. Plan so you can plan on the best launching date, and it's always okay to shoot for a date that's you're not going to be able to launch, because like, say you're starting a business today and it's not going to take long to get your products out and test it to make sure everything is okay, and then you get your batch that you're actually going to sell. You could shoot for, I don't know, it's July. Say you're going to launch in like March or April. It's okay if you overshot the actual day that you're going to be ready, because that way you can make sure that you're ready. Like I said, you just need to plan for every little thing that could go wrong. That's what you need to do. Instead of planning on everything going right, you need to plan for everything that can go wrong. That way that way, if it happens, you were ready for it in the best way possible, because there's some things you can't plan for, but you need to be ready in the best way, sense that if it comes up, you're ready. So plan. The next tip that I have for you all is to not procrastinate. And this is perhaps one of the hardest things to do when it comes to achieving and succeeding in anything. Procrastination. Like you all saw with last week's episode. Dates, deadlines, all that stuff can come up on you really, really quickly, and you won't even realize it. So what you need to do is you need to sit down and not procrastinate. If you're just sitting there on your phone with the movie playing in the background, you could be doing work with the movie playing in the background. You could be working on something that's due, working on something that's coming up, getting ahead of stuff. That's your goal, is to get ahead of stuff and not fall behind, because once you fall behind, it's almost always near impossible to get caught up and to have the work that you done be, that the work that you did be good work, good quality work. So try not to procrastinate, because it may seem all fun and games at the moment, but it's not going to be fun and games when it comes time for like your grade to come out, or your if you're getting reviewed, or whenever you're being, what am I looking for? Well, you all know what I'm trying to say. You need to be ready. Don't waste time sitting on your chair with some movie playing in the background. Don't go out and party when you know you've got a paper due. Just prioritize. Please prioritize. The next tip that I have for you all is to set aside time for a task, which goes back to procrastinating. If you set aside a specific time to do a specific assignment, whether it's for work or school, and put it in your phone, then you know that you can see that you have that time set aside to do something. You can hear, because it'll send you a notification when it's time to start, or when you are about to start, like within 10 to 15 minutes. And it'll be with you because it's on your phone, and I don't know anybody that leaves their phone laying around anywhere that they're not going to be near it. So it will be on you at all times to know that you need to prepare to get ready to do whatever that task is, whether it's write a book paper, do some work assignment that your job gave you, whatever the task may be that you are able to do because you set, what was I saying? That you're going to be able to do because you set that specific timer, you set that specific time up, and you're doing the work during that time. Now excuse me, here we go again with all this yawning. Don't be the person that sets aside the time to do it, and then when the time comes, you press snooze or you press cancel, or just don't be that type of person, because then you're falling back into that procrastination loop, and that's what we're trying to get out of. So do it when you say you're gonna do it, and don't set yourself up for failure. Don't set it during a time that you know something else that you may want to do comes up. So if you know that your friends might possibly want to hang out at like 4 o'clock, don't set an assignment for like 3 or 3:30, because you know that the work is not going to be good. It's not going to be quality work. And don't set it for like 5:30, because there's the possibility that you won't be back. So set aside a nice chunk of time, and be at a nice time for you to get your task done. The next thing is to keep a to-do list. I've mentioned this before. Some people prefer a paper to-do list. Some people prefer a digital to-do list, meaning on your phone. Excuse me. Look. Stop yawning. Whether it's paper to-do list or a digital to-do list, and that could be you writing it through some note-taking app like Good Notes and Notability, or you downloading an app where you can put in the tasks that you have to do. So whichever way works best for you is the way that I suggest you do it, because you don't want to try to do it like somebody else does, and that way doesn't work for you. So do it the best way that you can, and it's very tempting, yes, I understand, to put every single thing that you have to do on that list. Don't do it, because it's gonna stress you out, and you're gonna be like, excuse me, and you're going to be like, oh, well, I got to get all this stuff done today. No, you don't. Open your notes app, go to the notes section, write a note somewhere that you can access and put the other things that you have to get done, but that don't necessarily have to be done today. Or write them in a different color if you're doing it by hand. Just do it some way that you can see the difference between the stuff that you have to get done and the stuff that doesn't necessarily have to be done that day. That way you're not stressed because you're like, oh my god, am I going to get all this stuff done? I was fine before I started recording this, I promise y'all. That way you're not going to be like, oh, am I going to get all this stuff done? Am I going to need to stay up late? Am I going to need to get up early? Don't stress yourself out. There's nothing wrong with getting up early, but don't do it if you don't have to. You need your sleep. The next thing is one that I think for some people is the hardest thing on this list that I have for you all, and that's being afraid to lose people along the way. Remember, this is about achieving and succeeding, and if you have people that are attached to you who don't want to succeed in life, who don't want to achieve anything in life, or don't want to see you achieve or succeed in anything, you need to let them go, because they're going to be a problem in so many ways. You're either going to go to them for advice, and they're going to be like, oh, well, I wouldn't do that personally if I were you, or you do whatever you want to do, it's up to you, or they're just genuinely not there to support you. Like, you get this feeling, this vibe off of them whenever you bring something to the table that you want to do, or if you already in the midst of running a business, and every time you go to bring something to them, they just kind of dead the conversation. Like, those are the people that you do not want to be around. If you're around somebody that doesn't know that you're doing, like, starting that you have a business going or something, and you aren't sure they're going to be supportive of you, just don't tell them. And if they ever find out, just be like, look, just tell them, like, look, I've been trying to figure out whether I wanted to tell you or not. I don't feel like you would have supported me. And if they sound like they don't want to support you, then that's 9 times out of 10 what the case would have been, and you just need to let them go right there. Like, that be y'all part in conversation or something, because you don't want people who don't want to see you succeed in your circle. That's just, it will drain you emotionally, mentally, and you don't want that in your life, I promise. On from that, so like I said, don't be afraid to let people know, like, hey, you're not benefiting me, you're not proud of me, you're not, telling me anything that could benefit any of us, honestly. So just, like, let them go, cut them off. Bye. Yeah. The next topic is make time for self-care. Self-care is very important. As you can tell, the name of my podcast is Self-Care for Black Girls, and I know I haven't really done any self-care any episode that's specifically geared to black girls, but all of my past episodes have been geared to them. It's just they haven't been strictly geared to them, and I have so many episodes coming up starting in August that will be geared more directly to black girls, so hang on for that. But as far as, I do have a self-care episode coming up, so be on the lookout for that. And like I was saying, make time for self-care. If you want, it doesn't have to be like, well, on Thursday I'm not doing anything for anybody, schoolwork, I'm not going to work, it doesn't have to be that dramatic. If you want to do it, by all means, do you. If that's what you need, I'm not stopping you, because life can get rough. But it can be something small, like buying your favorite candy, or buying a cup of coffee, or going to a movie or something like that. It doesn't have to be something big like taking a day off from work. So just do something that will make you happy, either in that moment, for the day, whatever the case may be. Do something that will make you happy and make you feel loved by yourself or by other people, whatever you're needing at the moment. Just make sure it's caring, it's self-care, it's something that you want to do. Okay, don't let people tell you like, oh, I wouldn't do that. But if you wanted to go see this movie, don't let people tell you, oh, the movie's bad, I wouldn't pay money to see it or anything like that. Don't let that discourage you. If you want to see the movie, girl, go see the movie. I promise you it'll be worth it, or you can see for yourself that it wasn't worth it. Just don't let people stop you from taking care of you. Okay? Do that. And the last thing I have for you all is to work and study hard. Yes, it can be hard. I guess this was a really good tip to end this episode on. Because everything before it kind of builds up to this. How do I want to put this? Working and studying hard can be stressful. It can be tiring, which is why you need to make sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. If you have to go to bed early and wake up early, then by all means do it. If you need to go to bed late, just make sure that you don't have to get up that early, or that you have time the next day to get those hours, or something that you are able to, like a nap or something, so you're able to recharge so you can work and study hard. If you work and study hard, there's so many perks that come with it. I'm gonna start with the studying. If you're studying, you can get better grades. Better grades means better job. Better job means more money. In most cases, not always, but in most cases, better money means better lifestyle. For some people, not everybody. Money is not everything to everybody, but for most people, it is. It is. So, study hard, so you can work hard, so you can earn more, so you can live a better lifestyle. It is going to be hard because you're going to want to procrastinate. There's going to be people There's going to be people that aren't going to support you. There's going to be times where if you don't have a self-care day, you're probably going to kill somebody, but you need to, breathe, calm your nerves, and put in the extra hour, because I promise you it will be worth it in the end. And if find somebody that you can talk to, start seeing a therapist or something, so you can, while you're working hard to achieve and succeed in life, you're not killing yourself, because it can be hard to do all this stuff and not have somebody to open up to. So don't kill yourself working hard. And if it's killing you or you're not getting sleep, then you need to back off the table a little bit so you don't kill yourself, because I don't want to hear about anybody dying because they're overworked. So please don't do that. But that's all that I have for you all today. Visit my Patreon. The link is on the about page of my blog. After you listen, go to iTunes and leave a review. That really helps me, because it shows other people that people are listening to this, and B, that it's a pretty good podcast. So go over there and leave a review on iTunes. And I have some announcements coming up in the future, so also be on the lookout for that. But thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all next week. Bye. Thanks for tuning in this week. If you have any questions about today's topics, want to share an inspiring story, or be featured in our monthly Q&As, send them to me at selfcarebgirl@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to head over to my blog at selfcareblackgirls.wordpress.com to see extra content, pictures, and links that were mentioned in the show. Spread the word. Subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes. It really helps. To help support this podcast, you can send a one-time or monthly donation to patreon.com/selfcareforblackgirls, and you'll receive a special gift. Thanks again for listening, and don't forget to stay beautiful.